What it costs us? All right. Okay.
Wesley Clark says that John McCain is largely untested and untried.
I want you to name some of Barack Obama's legislative accomplishments tonight, if you can.
He has really demonstrated a surprising lack of understanding of critical issues.
Al-Qaeda is going back into Iran and receiving training. I'm sorry, the Iranians are training extremists, not Al-Qaeda.
I'm not going to be able to name you specific items of legislative accomplishment.
Can you name anything he's accomplished as a congressman?
No, I'm not going to be able to do that tonight.
Well, that's a problem, isn't it?
Well, well, no, I don't think it is, because I think one of the things that Senator Obama does is he inspires.
The same as it would cost for about, hold on one second, but I'm glad you're fired up though.
It seems like the conversation has been up until now about the overall direction that this country is taking in terms of its philosophy toward war and foreign policy.
Our military is desperately overstretched. Military families are suffering.
A new New York Times CBS poll finds a staggering 81%, more than 4 out of 5 Americans, say things in our country are going the wrong direction.
Americans are disgusted with their government, with the war, with the lack of any sort of coherent foreign policy. You get the sense that the country is desperate for someone to show us the way. Not the old way, not the same way, but a new way.
Well, there are choices yet for the entire voting bloc because over the weekend, Bob Barr of Georgia became the Libertarian Party nominee.
Going to the campaign trail as Obama and Clinton and McCain, they keep pushing ahead. Now word that a new name could be entering this race.
Former Congressman Bob Barr running for president. He says Washington is broken and a vote for the two-party status quo is a wasted vote. Barr's belief in individual liberty, small government, and a return to the Constitution sounds an awful lot like my America. So while everybody's talking about Senator McCain and Obama, tonight I'm going to talk with presidential contender Bob Barr.
Government has taken so much power and is exercising so much power over our lives that it's caused myself and I think a lot of other Americans to sit down and say, you know, let's hold on just a minute here.
A new FISA bill that gives President Bush exactly what he wants, increased abilities to spy on Americans without warrants, and a level of immunity for the telecom companies who already illegally spied on Americans for him.
It's in our national interest because we want to know who's calling who. From overseas into America, we need to know.
And on the transcendent issues, the most important issues of our day, I have been totally in agreement and support of President Bush.
My view on FISA has always been that the underlying program itself actually is important and useful to American security.
We have no leadership. Where are the leaders? They sure are not in the White House, they aren't in the Congress, and they aren't waiting in the wings in this year's election.
President Bush has talked about our staying in Iraq for 50 years.
Maybe 100.
I don't think Americans are concerned if we're there for 100 years or 1,000 years or 10,000 years.
Iran, Cuba, Venezuela, they don't pose a serious threat to us.
Iran is a great threat. It has an illicit nuclear program. It supports terrorism.
Senator Barack Obama issued a warning to Pakistan today, saying
he would be prepared to order military attacks against Al-Qaeda targets inside Pakistan, with or without the approval of Islamabad.
On my first day in office, immediately begin the process of a significant and immediate withdrawal of U.S. forces from Iraq. Defending our nation, of course, is very different from occupying a foreign nation.
Why consider running as a libertarian this year?
One thing that I hear as I travel across the country, and it doesn't matter whether I'm speaking to libertarians or college students or Republicans or Democrats, is that Americans are tired of going into the polling booth year after year, cycle after cycle, and having to pull the lever for a candidate that's the lesser of two evils.
When we talk libertarian issues with libertarian figures, there's a tremendous reaction out there. There's a lot of people who are interested in this party or in the principles behind it.
The light of freedom is going to come from this point forward in our history from one place and one place only. It isn't the party that begins with an R. It isn't the party that begins with a D. It is the party that begins and starts with the L of liberty, and that is the Libertarian Party. What unites libertarians, and this is a sign of the maturity of the Libertarian Party in this day and age, is a fundamental belief in the basic principle that we ought to maximize individual liberty and minimize government power and work to that end.
Barack Obama would likely raise taxes by not renewing the Bush tax cuts.
All right. You have, however, said you would favor an increase in the capital gains tax. Drop the capital gains tax, the revenues go up.
Well, that might happen, or it might not.
I cannot in good conscience vote in favor of tax cuts, irrespective of their size or to which segment of the population they are targeted.
Because everybody's hurting, everybody's standard of living is going down as the standard of living for the government is going up. We aim to reverse that. There is much more at stake here than simply one man winning one election. What's at stake here is opening up our political system. Many blue-collar Democrats and conservative Republicans are finding is a need to start dramatically reining in big government. Neither of the two major party candidates will do that. I will. Give me the tools to help you bring that message of freedom and liberty to the White House of the United States of America, and we will send shockwaves not just across this country, not a seismic shift up on Capitol Hill, but around the world, because men, women, children, government leaders all around this great world from all different countries will once again look to America, not with fear in their eyes, but love in their heart and respect for what we will be fighting for. And I will be with you in a Barr administration, and that is to restore the Bill of Rights, to restore the constitutional precepts of freedom and privacy, and to restore liberty to America. Thank you, and long live the Libertarian Party of the United States of America.